Hi everyone, welcome to into my new episode of Peter's English podcast. At first I had a little problem with the streaming and recording, but now it's okay. I'm your host Peter, welcome everyone. I'm 34 years old, I like learning English and doing my podcast. I like learning English and doing my podcast because it is my hobby. I want to live without language barriers. I want to visit foreign countries. I want to have better paid job. And I want to connect with other learners of English language and podcasters who like learning English and doing their own English podcast. I've been learning English since August 2022, but I discovered thanks to English teachers or influencers that I have to practice every topic of the English language, that is speaking, writing, reading, English vocabulary and pronunciation, and I'm doing all of course. And I've been podcasting since June 2024, and I've been watching my favorite movies and series in English, and I've been listening to my favorite English podcasts and audiobooks since August 2023. I decided to create my Peter's English podcast because I like podcasting. I like writing my own fairy tales in English because it's very important to write your own fairy tales or stories in English, because you have to practice your writing skills in English. And I think that the best idea how to do it is writing your own stories and or fairy tales in English that you like. I recommend you create your own favorite character. Like me, I created my own female character, that is Vera the Vampire Girl, and I created my new novel, Vera the Vampire Girl Diary, that was inspired by my own life, my work, but I don't want to be offensive against someone else, of course. I wanted to have fun because my novel, it's about fun and comedy, and it's educational, I think, I hope. I really recommend you to watch it on my YouTube channel or listen to it on your favorite podcast app and read in my Wattpad. I like my streaming my own Peter's English podcast because my own Peter's English podcast is my hobby. I want to practice my appearance in English, and I want to practice my speaking skills in English, because when you want to speak English fluently, you have to practice your speaking skills. There is not any other way how to defeat your shyness. You have to practice your speaking skills in English every day, and I think that the best idea for you is creating your own English podcast about your hobbies that are interesting for you. What I wanted to tell, I think we can start with this topic of this episode. I decided to tell you to create series about the history of the ancient Rome, and this first episode of this series is about the legend of Romulus and Remus. I want to chat with my digital co-host, that is Microsoft Copilot, because it knows everything and we can start, people. You have to wait. Here is. I'm streaming and recording on my YouTube channel via OBS Studio, the new video episode of my podcast. Tell, right, people? Wait a minute, people. I'm thinking if I can you tell this legend, but at first I'm going to ask Microsoft Copilot, my digital co-host, of course. I think it's a good idea, isn't it? Yes, I think we can. Can we talk about the legend of Romulus and Remus? I think we can. Absolutely, Peter. Let's dive into the legend of Romulus and Remus. Perfect for your new podcast episode. This was, people, the message from Microsoft Copilot, and we can continue. The legend of Romulus and Remus, a mythic beginning, the origin story. Romulus and Remus were twin brothers born to Rhea Silvia, a Vestal virgin, and Mars, the god of war. Their birth was politically dangerous. Their great-uncle Amulius had seized the throne and feared the twins would challenge him. So he ordered them to be drowned in the Types River, but fate had other plans. Raised by the she-wolf, the twins were miraculously saved and found by a she-wolf who nursed them in a cave called the Lupercal. Later, they were raised by a shepherd named Faustulus and his wife. This part of the myth symbolizes Rome's wild, untamed beginnings, nurtured by nature, destined for greatness. Founding of Rome. As adults, Romulus and Remus decided to build a city, but they disagreed on its location. Romulus wanted the Palatine Hill. Remus preferred the Aventine Hill. The dispute escalated and it ended in a tragic twist. Romulus killed Remus, either out of rage or the assert dominance. Romulus then founded Rome on April 21st, 753 BCA, becoming its first king. Podcast talking points. What does the myth say about Roman values, strength, sacrifice, and destiny? Yes, this myth is about two brothers, Romulus and Remus, who was raised by she-wolf because their great uncle Amulius was afraid that these two brothers can kill him. Yes, of course. Then they were raised by yes, by the couple Faustulus and his wife. And then they decided, the brothers built Rome, but they have different opinions, and it was a fight between them, and Romulus killed Remus, and that's it. Romulus was the first king of the Rome, and the symbolism of fratricide. Thus, it reflects Rome's internal conflicts and ruthless ambition. Yes, of course. This conflict between Romulus and Remus symbolizes the conflict the internal conflict in Rome. It can be true, people. How myths shape national identity and why Rome choose a violent origin story. Wait a minute. Later were raised by shepherd named this part of is wild. Yes, this. And people did these are only talking points. And what now? How myths. Yes, how myths shape national identity and what? Yes, I think that. Tell me, answer the talking point. Yes, we can do it. Answer the talking points. This is a very good idea because it's very hard to answer. Because yes, here is. What does the myth say about human values, strength and survival? The twins survival against all odds, abandoned, rescued by a wild animal, raised by humble shepherds, reflect Rome's admiration for resilience and grit. Divine destiny, being sons of Mars, their story is steeped in divine purpose. Romans believed their empire was fated to rule, and this myth reinforces that belief. Sacrifice for greatness. Romulus killing Remus is brutal, but it underscores a Rome theme: personal sacrifice for the greater good of the state. Rome wasn't built on harmony. It was built on ambition, conquest, and uncompromising vision. Yes, this legend was the. Wait a minute. Yes, of course. Romans believed that Rome Empire was created for rule, and this is the main reason why the father of Romulus and Remus were Mars, the god of the war, yes, of course. And they wanted to tell that yes, that personal sacrifice is for the good of state is more important than the family. Yes, this is the myth of the legend, and these are thoughts that had ancient Romans about their legend of Romulus and Remus. The symbolism of fratricide, internal conflict. The murder of Remus by Romulus can be seen as a metaphor for Rome's frequent civil wars and political strife. Yes, I think people, it can be so. Power over kinships. It suggests that in Roman ideology, loyalty to the city and its destiny outweighed personal relationships. Foundational violence. Rome's origins is not peaceful. It's forged in blood. This sets the tone for an empire that would expand through war and domination. Romulus didn't just found a city, he founded a legacy of ruthless leadership. How myths shape national identity. Legitimizing rule. By tracing Rome's origins to divine figures and heroic deeds, the myth gave emperors and citizens a sense of divine right and historical grandeur. Cultural cohesion. Shared myths unify people. That is true. Romulus and Remus became symbols of Roman pride, appearing in art, coins, and public ceremonies. Moral messaging. The myth teaches Romans that greatness demands sacrifice and that destiny is earned through struggle. It's not just a story, it's a blueprint from Roman ideology. Comparing Romulus to other legendary founders. Romulus, origin story. Kills brother, founds Rome. Teams, power, sacrifice, destiny. King Arthur, pulls sword, unites Britain, honor, unity, mysticism. Moses, leads people from slavery, libertation, faith, law. Romulus is unique in that his story is violent and unapologetic, no divine miracles or moral codes, just raw ambition. Arthur and Moses are moral leaders, while Romulus is a political founder. More Caesar than saint. I think people that this information it's very interesting, and I like his story, and that is the main reason why I decided to start to talk about this historical topic, because I like history, and the history of ancient Rome, the Roman Empire, is very interesting for me, and we can learn something from Microsoft Copilot with this reading the information found by Microsoft Copilot. And I think we can end this episode, because yes, I can tell you that this legend was very important for ancient Rome. Yes, of course. And what else? We can end it, and we can end this episode, and I don't know. Want me to turn into a podcast script or segment outline, or maybe add some dramatic no. What else? Yes, of course. Follow me everywhere. Don't judge me, please, because it's my thing. It's my business. I like doing my podcast and learning English. It's my hobby, and I want to continue with my hobby, and no one can judge me, or no one can stop me with my hobby, that is learning English and doing my podcast. And yes, I wanted today to do other type of episode, but I had to do it later, because I'm waiting for my new optic internet, and when I have it later, I want to stream and record on my YouTube channel via OBS Studio connected to my new fiber optic internet. It will be great. The upload will be better, very fast. The internet will be more faster. Will be very the speed will be great. I'm looking forward, and I hope I don't want that I won't be waiting for a long time, because I decided to have my new fiber optic internet via electric poles, and I want to tell you that I'm connected to it, but I need something. Thanks to it, I can really use it, and I tell you everything later. But don't worry, I don't want to tell you this story. But I want to do a celebration episode where I can tell you about my podcast, and I can celebrate this situation that is my new fiber optic internet via electric poles. I hope I will do this episode, because I want to upload my recordings, and I wait for this internet, and I think we can end this. But the good thing is, people, that I'm connected, that I have my new optic internet plug from that is connected from our electric poles, and that's great. And we have to wait, and I hope that it will come early, and then I can tell you more about this. No, I don't want to tell you about this story, because I just want to do a celebration rambling about my podcast. That is a celebration of my new optic internet via electric pulse, but I want to do it later. Now follow me everywhere, read my new novel, Where the Vampire Grow, and connect with me if you are English learner who likes learning English and you have your own English podcast about learning English. And it will be fun. We can do together our live episodes on our YouTube channel together via OBS Studio. It can be fun if you want, but if you don't want, okay, it's no problem for me. And I want to end this episode and I want to tell you bye bye.